Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Pay and welcome to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. Today I want to cover an introduction to Haunted Space, and particularly because this is a title that's also going to be available on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam, and that really is what caught my attention and our Games Guild attention originally from this title. It's like, wait, they're actually bridging the gap? What's going on here? So it's not as perfect as you might all imagine, but it's a great start. So I want to go into those details and kind of explain how they're doing that, what the differences are going to be, and also this looks like a really fun game. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So just taking a look at their website, obviously, you can see here where it even has the PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam logo. They were also a winner of a couple events, which was pretty cool to see. So there's a lot of confidence, I guess you could say, in this project based on kind of some of their accolades and what they've accomplished already. And really what it is they talk about exploring, fighting, and earning. So Haunted Space is a profound adventure that allows you to explore, play, and earn your way through star-choked skies in this immersive exploration of time, space, and human civilization's depths. Now there's a couple small little cinematic teasers. There's not too much gameplay stuff, but it definitely looks like a space battle type game. That's really kind of the general gist I've got of it, from exploration to battling to fights and all kinds of other stuff in between. I mean, just look at the level of detail on the spacecraft there. It's pretty awesome. So they talk about, and this is actually how they were able to win some of the awards, or at least that's what they claim. This was a major way that assisted them, was that they've focused and fixed three major issues. So they talk about how a lot of games in the play to earn space is low quality, right? So people are forgetting about the fun factor, and because this is being built with Unreal Engine 5, there's definitely going to be no issues there. They also talk about uncertain release dates, which I think is pretty cool. So this is kind of unique because this is definitely a big issue in Web3 right now. Constant delays, constant pushing, waiting for market timing. I mean, we're almost so used to it that we expect everything to get delayed. There is no consistency on release dates. So I really like that they mentioned this here. Now, how close can they stick to that? We'll have to see. But the fact that they say that this project has been in development for over 4 years at this point means they're kind of ahead of the curve, and they can stick pretty, the best that they can to those release dates. So there's going to be a lot of scrutiny on that one to make sure that they stay true to their word there, but I think it's cool that they're being transparent about mentioning it. And then lack of traditional gamers. So we all know this, right? This is why we're seeing all these projects take free-to-play models and trying to target Web2 users, which really I think is going to take more of a unique marketing approach. I don't think a lot of these companies are probably prepared from a marketing perspective to be able to do that, but there's ways that can be solved, working with different marketing advisors or different companies that can assist in that way. However, this is where they kind of, in my opinion, are leading the way. So for PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam, it will be the free-to-play version. There's going to be no NFT crypto components whatsoever in that. However, on the PC version of the game, the computer, that's where you're going to have the play-to-earn NFT component. So people can play and enjoy the game on their console, on Steam, but if they want to take that leap over to Web3, they'll have to make that transition on the computer. So they're uniting a community, the community being their game, irregardless of the platform, and they're saying that that's going to help people bridge the gap. So I'm going to be curious to see, in my opinion, that must mean you can take your free-to-play progress, move it over to the PC, which means cross-compatibility, cross-saving, which is kind of cool, and then start that earning route. We'll have to see how that goes too. But the fact that this title is, already featured and been confirmed that it's coming out on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam is pretty awesome. And that's really why I wanted to cover this with you guys today, because this is a big milestone, I guess you could say, in the Web3 industry. Even though there's no NFTs in play to earn on the PlayStation or Xbox version, it's just nice to see more titles, coming into that space, bringing awareness to it. We talk about these two different game modes. Basically, there's a single player and a multiplayer version. They're both fascinating and exciting ways to explore the world. They talk about how it's dread amongst the stars as a single player. Imagine that's more of the exploration. And they talk about dominating for supremacy, to play to earn. Now, of course, imagine with that being multiplayer, that's going to be like dogfights and battles and maybe clan battles and battles for territory and all kinds of other interesting stuff that can happen in space. And then I'm curious if they're going to maybe expand out those two modes kind of later. Will they add a third mode, or will they just simply kind of add layers to those? Now, they did recently have their minting event happen just not even a couple weeks ago for their Genesis pack, and you can still get it on secondary, and we'll take a look at their OpenSea collection here soon. And I know a few people who got involved in that, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of the start. They just really got going. They are going to be launching their token here down the road, but you can currently get their Genesis packs on OpenSea right now. Like I said, I'll show you that here in a second. So just taking a look at the roadmap, and this one's kind of interesting. It's like a side-scrolling one, but basically, they said they've already been developing this game for 4 years, right? The Genesis pack NFT sale basically just happened. That's the Q3 2022. And then next is the ecosystem connections, HG Angel, and seed round. So basically, they're doing all their major raises now. And if we just kind of move along, they're saying that the single-player game beta release is literally happening any day, like it's right around the corner. Even in their announcements in Discord, they've mentioned this, like beta's coming up super fast. Hope everybody's ready for the beta. So that's cool to see that they're hitting their dates on this. And I just have to admit, this is like one of the first roadmaps I've seen where a project is actually hitting, all the dates. Usually it's not updated, it's old. They push this, they push that. So either these guys are really good at keeping their stuff up to date, or that timeline is really important to them, kind of like they mentioned about those three major issues. Then there's going to be a private sale round with smart contract audits afterwards. There's going to be the game release Q1, Q2 next year on Steam, Xbox, and PS5. Then, of course, DEX and SEX listings, marketplace openings, multiplayer, closed beta tests, things like that, Q4 to Q1 of 2024. So this game is going to be taking a while to kind of get through all these phases, but as we know in Web3, it's good to get involved early. Then they're talking about Q1 2024 is the open world free-for-all deathmatch implementation, and then tournaments and stuff kind of come after that. So I kind of liked how they did that roadmap, and it definitely seems like, 2 years away to kind of get it complete. That's actually not that bad when you consider a lot of other projects and the timelines and roadmaps that they're looking at right now. So it talks about who they are, IGF company. There's more than 30 people. They're a AAA game development production company. You can definitely find out more information about them, and it kind of highlights some of their main team members. Just like the other thing, you can scroll along. I always like that they're very transparent about this, when projects are transparent about this, and they have a lot of their team members listed, not just a few. You can even open up to see their entire team, which I thought was pretty awesome. And then, of course, some great partners. Right away, I recognize most of these. You guys probably for sure on our channel recognize Elixir. That's awesome to see. I'm really confident in a lot of projects that are partnering with that platform. I know you might know or recognize Coliseum. They're kind of like a metaverse type game community, I guess you could say. There's a lot of different things that they're doing. Engine Starter, Seedify. So this is great to see. There's actually quite some recognizable names here. And just kind of moving along, I wanted to show you guys the OpenSea. So you can go on here right now, and of course, make sure you go to the official link through their website. Don't mess around otherwise. And there are different factions right now. So if you want to find out more information about that, that's something you can definitely ask about in their community. Which faction do you want to get? Maybe you want to pick up one of each. It's definitely a reasonable price right now. It did also just only get listed recently, like I mentioned, but I want to kind of show you guys a quick look at that. And their medium, I'm really impressed with this. They've done a fantastic job, really constantly releasing new information, new updates, following their roadmap, keeping to their promises, and all the best information I've found is here. So there's definitely a lot you can read through if you kind of go back to the very beginning. They even have like a different roadmap. They listed in like this column form instead of that slide scrolling bar, which is cool. Talks about the ships, where everything began, kind of the lore story. But there's two things in particular, two aspects I want to focus on here on the medium just before we wrap up this video for you guys. I want to talk about the Elixir partnership, because this is big. We recently did a video here on our channel. I'll have it pop up here for you guys about the Elixir platform and how this is actually solving some issues in the industry. and really helping facilitate a lot more onboarding. Lots of great things going on with Elixir, so it's just really nice to see them step up, get another title like Haunted Space, which in my opinion is innovating in its own way, like I said, with the whole PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam adoption. Even though there's no play to earn in that, it still potentially can help bring people into that community, into that fold, educate them on what play to earn is, because there is the opportunity to move over from the PlayStation to the computer. They also talk about, the free-to-play mode specifically. There's going to be ranked, with crypto NFT elements, tournaments, competitions can be organized. It's a skill-based game. The more you win, the more you earn. And they're really going to do a lot of co-marketing stuff with airdrops and other things to help promote not just Elixir, but the game. So really great information in here. I won't go through the whole thing, but it's nice to see them really focusing on partnerships. And the other article that just came out, which is why I wanted to do this video, was their token ecosystem. And although, in my opinion, it leaves some questions or some holes, it's not fully explained. Like, we don't see all the logic behind the tokenomics. They do a decent job, in my opinion, at least explaining it. And they are coming at it from an angle of, hey, we see a lot of failing Web3 game ecosystems. We've analyzed studies, found some potential solutions to these issues in the last 2 years, and now we're using that to make our economy. They talk about how it's going to be a 2-token system, and basically there's this Haunted Guilds Rewards token, which is their governance. You can stake for DAO access, stake to play to get in-game materials, reduced fees in their marketplace. You can buy special tools, modify your ship. Single-player earnings are used to lock the HD token. So there's going to be a bunch of different utility with the governance. And then it talks about potential growth, how they've done a bunch of research on this, deeply studied and weighed tokenomics, preventing pump and dumps that they've seen in the past, giving trust to the project, and creating a solid base for potential growth during the next bull run. Now, this is just my opinion, but the fact that they're already working with Sony and Microsoft and stuff tells me that they really want to make sure this is a success, that they're leading the way or paving the way for Web3. There's probably a lot more onus on them to perform well. I'm sure that's probably stressful as a project. That doesn't necessarily mean it will be successful. We don't actually know, but it gives me that little bit of extra confidence that I think is important when you're researching different projects. You want to find kind of all the best aspects. How are they innovating? What are they doing new? Does that make sense? Something that personally I find is when they're just copying or doing something that another project has already done, I actually don't have as much confidence in them. I want to see innovation. That's what Web3 really helps foster. So seeing that in a lot of these projects is really exciting to me. Then they talk about their Haunted Space reward token, which is basically the in-game earning currency. You get pay rewards, you can buy in-game NFTs, in-game resources, repair or rent battleships, buy special tools, level up and modify your battleship. And it's going to be a hard-to-earn token. Talk about how it might even be a stealth launch. And basically the Genesis Pass NFT holders will initially be the only early investors to hold the token. That's kind of the incentive to go get one of those early NFTs right now that you can buy on OpenSea or as secondary. They also talk about how there's distributions are going to be regulated by an algorithm to avoid flooding the market with new tokens. They're going to take into consideration the price, the number of active players, economy volumes, all kinds of really interesting things. So they're saying a lot of great stuff, right? This is what I like to see when I see a tokenomics economy or ecosystem explained. But of course, they're not showing necessarily the deeper logic. Maybe that'll come down the road. But as far as all the utility and the structure set up, and they're coming at it from an angle of, hey, we realize there's issues with other tokenomics, this is what we're going to try different. I think that's a great place to start. And I definitely am excited to see kind of what happens with this project. It's 2 years out from really being a fully developed, flushed out, playable game. We're going to have the early beta here really soon, so you can get involved in that. But you can see on the roadmap, we're really not going to get to the end until 2024. So this might be a good opportunity for you guys to take a look into it. I'm just really excited for what they're doing with PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. Okay, guys, I hope you loved that video. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. It shows that you guys appreciate all this great play to earn content that we have coming out for you on a consistent basis. Of course, slam that like button. Helps us show this content to other people on YouTube, helps spread the Web3 awareness. And then, of course, last but not least, hit that bell notification to stay up to date with all the great information we have coming out for you guys. Okay, until next time, cheers.
Don't forget about our 1,000 subscriber giveaway where you can win $200, and if you need more information, be sure to join us on our Discord. See you there.